What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's predictions time once again for Super Rugby and the weekend's games that are coming up. What a weekend we had last weekend, treated with some special games again. Well, for a prediction wise, I actually didn't do too badly at all. I only got the one wrong in the week, so Super Brew went up a bit. I just missed the bloody yellow cap, but it was a good weekend for me, so I'm happy with the results. Well, not really the results for one game, but I'm happy that Super Brew improved at least. If we look at the recap of last week's fixtures, I mean, some great ones. Blues, Hurricanes. Hurricanes are predicted to win. They won 22-12. Really great game by the Barrett brothers. I thought they stood out well. The Rebels, Reds, predicted a Reds win, and I got that one spot on too. Great game, great performance from both teams really, but obviously a good win for the Rebels there. Bulls Crusaders. Now this game, I think a lot of people were interested in. They're thinking that maybe the Bulls could pick up a win. They had a bit more of a crowd in the stadiums. There's a lot of talk of the Bulls fans really getting confident after the Sharks drawing. But again, total different ball game, man. The thing about New Zealand, they always bounce back, and you can never count them out. And they played like champions. I mean, Reece getting a hat-trick. 45-13 victory over the Blue Bulls. Not a great performance for the Bulls. I'll want to forget about that one, but good win for the Crusaders. Highlanders beating the Jaguars 32-27. Also a close game. Intense one. Again, not bad prediction. I predicted 7, so close there. But well done to the Highlanders, and well done to the Jaguars, keeping up a little bit of a fight over there in New Zealand. This game I was disappointed with, but it was a brilliant game. The Chiefs versus the Sharks. I mean, Sharks, unfortunately for them, or not unfortunately, sounds stupidity, they couldn't capitalize on that try line, which cost them big time, therefore losing the game to the Chiefs. But overall, probably the game of the weekend for me. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. The intensity, when the Chiefs started off, I thought, shit, we're going to get bluxed. But we came back, and unfortunately couldn't do it all. But credit to the Chiefs picking up a win. That was my only incorrect prediction. I thought the Sharks might have it over them. Lions beating the Waratahs by 1 bloody point. What a game that was. But good victory, much needed victory for the Lions. I predicted Lions by 6. Obviously 1 point in there, so not the greatest of results for the Lions, but they'll be happy with the win. Please excuse the wind, it is blowing gales outside. And then the Brumbies picking up a very strong win over the Sunwolves, 33-0. I thought the Brumbies would win, but I didn't think by that much. So well done to the Brumbies, picking up a great victory for themselves going forward. Now we're getting close. Round 14 of this weekend's fixtures. What's installed? We've got the Hurricanes versus the Jaguars first up. It's going to be an interesting one, that one. I'm looking forward to that game. I think it could be a bit of a battle. I mean, you can never count out the Jaguars. They're a strong and committed rugby team that are determined to really prove teams wrong. But for me, the Hurricanes have an intense squad. They're looking good. They're looking strong. And for that reason, I'm going Hurricanes to win. It should be an interesting game, but I think the Hurricanes are just too strong, especially with those Barrett brothers. This is a tough one. Rebels versus the Bulls. I mean, the Bulls had a shocker last week, so they're going to want to redeem themselves. Rebels picking up a win last weekend, which will give them a bit of confidence, but they haven't had the hottest few weeks, which has been a letdown for them. The Bulls, on the other hand, have been on and off. 1-1, lost one, 1-1, lost one, 1-1, lost one. So for me, I'm going to go with the home team and go Rebels to pick up a win. I hope I'm wrong and that the Bulls can win, because obviously I want a South African team to pick up a victory. But I think the Blues versus the Chiefs coming up. Also, interesting game. Blues on a 4-match losing streak. They need a win. They need to redeem themselves and fight back after really battling. The Chiefs, on the other hand, really, they've been on and off. It's been a very tough prediction for the Chiefs. Obviously missing Brody and Damian McKenzie, which are big losses to them. But this is going to be an interesting game. It's the two weaker New Zealand teams. Who's going to win? I don't know, but I'm going to back the Blues. They're on my New Zealand team, so I'm going to support the Blues on that one. Hopefully they can pick up a victory and conquer that losing streak. But it should be a tough game. Next up, we have the Reds versus the Waratahs, an Australian derby. I mean, this is two quality squads. Waratahs on a 3-match losing streak. Reds were on 2 winning streaks and then lost last weekend to the Rebels. Tough one to predict, normally you go Waratahs all the way, but you can't count out the Reds. But therefore, that is my Australian team. I'm going to go Waratahs to pick up a victory, but it's going to be tougher. We're getting to the end of the tournament where these teams want to put their stamp on the mark. And for me, you can't count out the Waratahs or the Reds, but I'm going to go Waratahs picking up a victory there. Then we got the Lions taking on the Highlanders in Johannesburg. Two quality squads there. Lions picking up a good win as well as the Highlanders last weekend, so both going to be very confident with where they are and will want to continue that stage going forward. Tough one. Shivered. This is not the easiest prediction. You think you'd go with New Zealand. I'm going to go with Lions. South Africa all the way. I hope I'm right and we can prove some points. Then the final game of the weekend, the Stormers versus the Crusaders. Jeepers. You got the best team in the Super Rugby playing against the Stormers, who have been on and off. Stormers need to win. They need a win. I think they're bottom of the log. They're going to need to prove a point. But against the Crusaders, it's going to be tough. And as much as I want the Stormers to win, I just don't see that happening. The Crusaders are just too strong. Sorry, Stormers fans, but I see the Crusaders winning that one quite. I hope not convincingly, but by a fair margin, probably 10 points or more. But that's the predictions for this weekend's game. And a brief recap. It's going to be interesting. We're getting to the end of Super Rugby, and I really see something exciting brewing up. It's going to be an interesting fight. I mean, in the South African Conference, anyone can play there. I mean, Sharks are top, but I think they've got 2 games ahead. So Jaguars win over the weekend, they take over, and the Bulls will take over. So it's anyone's game really, and that's what's making it exciting. Even the Australian Conference is so up and down, it's hard to predict. New Zealand, also, you got your top 2, but who's going to fight it out at the end there? It's going to be interesting. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Excuse the noise once again from the dogs and the wind. It's causing chaos, but we managed to get the video through. So thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you guys real soon for another video. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.